Welcome to Calm Before the Storm, a podcast on planning for, preventing, and responding to medical emergencies. Brought to you by the San Francisco Emergency Medical Services Agency.
Hi there, listeners. Thank you for joining us for episode 2 of Calm Before the Storm. I'm your host, Erin Backus, Info and Education Specialist at SFMSA. You're in for a real treat. Joining us today, we have San Francisco Fire Department PIO Samuel Menchaca and Rescue Captains Andrew Barnekoff and Osvaldo Gutierrez, sharing details about their innovative Advanced Life Support Field Training Program. I'm so thrilled to have you here today. Take it away, Captain Menchaca.
Hello, my name is Samuel Menchaca with the San Francisco Fire Department, one of the public information officers. Here today, we're to talk about how in-service EMS training impacts the community and EMS field providers. With me today is Rescue Captain Osvaldo Gutierrez and Rescue Captain Andrew Barnekoff. Ozzy, how about you introduce yourself for us?
All right, thank you, Sam. My name is Osvaldo Gutierrez, and I'm EMS Captain with the San Francisco Fire Department. I've been with the fire department for the last 18 years. The last 5 have been as an EMS captain. The last year I've been with Andrew Barnekoff in the EMS In-Service Training office.
And thank you, Ozzy. My name is Drew Barnekoff. I'm an acting EMS captain with the San Francisco Fire Department. I've been with the fire department for a little over 10 years. The last 3 years have been in EMS In-Service Training, CQI, and before that, the Division of Training with Recruit Academies, and before that, working on the ambulance.
Thanks for that, Drew. So we're here to talk about what is EMS In-Service Training. Drew, can you define that for us?
So EMS In-Service Training was developed for the members and to contact the members to continually educate the members on seldomly used skills, critical thinking with both medical and trauma calls. Because the big thing for us is we want the members to feel confident that they're competent in their medicine and that they can, approach any scene, approach any situation, and feel that they can give the best care to the citizens possible. And as well, having that, for the members, equates to trust of the citizens, and if they call 911, they will have a paramedic, EMT, firefighter arrive on scene that will be able to handle any situation that they need assistance with.
All right. Ozzy, can you give us some examples of what type of in-service training is it? Is it just online? Is it with your hands? Is it at a computer? Is it just taking notes? What would it be?
So when we develop these training modules, we try to take all of the learning realms in mind, right? We have different type of members. Members are who we define as our active EMTs and paramedics and firefighters that are out in the field. Those members sometimes need hands-on training, sometimes they need PowerPoints, sometimes they just need conversation to be able to talk about where their skill gaps are, what they need as far as training. So we try to provide airway management, refreshers, trauma scenarios. If there's new protocols, we go over them with a fine-tooth comb with them to make sure they have a good understanding. And then we try to do simulation training with high-fidelity mannequins.
That's a lot. So why does this matter for EMS providers? Ozzy, when we talk about skill retention and confidence under pressure, what does ALS in-service training do for those members?
So a lot of our skills are what we call high acuity, low frequency, which means they're really difficult to do and we don't have many opportunities to practice them in real life, right? So what we try to do is create high fidelity mannequins to simulate what would happen in real life. We've created an airway mannequin that actually vomits. We have a needle crike mannequin where you can actually see the lungs inflate when we use the jet set inflator. Things like that, I think, give people confidence when they're actually on that scene and they have time against them, right? The more study and practice they have, the better they're going to be when it's time to actually do the skill.
True. When we talk about evolving medical guidelines and tech, what are some of those new evolutions happening in the medical world for emergency medicine?
Yeah, Sam. So when, EMS is always changing, whether that's, technology, whether that's protocols, whether that's, different types of medications. And we're trying to get those members to master every single skill, every single med calculation that they may run into. So with that being said, the EMSA rolls out new policies and protocols twice a year. We take those policy protocols and, like Ozzy says, we go through them with a fine-tooth comb. We give those members a PowerPoint presentation, in-service training. If there is a new piece of equipment, we go over that with the members so they have a mastery of that. So if it is, let's say, a new jet insufflator, we'll go over that with them. We'll get them hands-on training with that. We will have visual props for them to actually see. We'll be able to talk back and forth about the new piece of equipment or the new protocol. And, with that, having in-person training also gives the opportunity for the members to give us feedback and to ask questions, which is super important that they don't get through like video learning, such as like vector solutions or target solutions. They get that real-time feedback and are able to ask those questions and get like real-time answers. Also too, we have those instances where sometimes members in the field, they see the same coin from two different sides. So, if a suppression member sees it from one side, an EMS member sees it from a different vantage point of view, they're able to have that conversation and we're able to smooth everything out, where they're definitely two different jobs. Where being an engine medic, you're on scene, you usually are on scene for approximately about 5 minutes before the transport medic arrives. It's a very different job than the transport medic, where the transport medic, assumes care and actually takes the patient to the hospital and gets the follow-up, where sometimes the engine medic won't get that follow-up. And it's those times, that in-service training, where they can get feedback on, hey, usually when I'm an engine medic, this is what I see. If I'm a transport medic, this is what I see, and here's the follow-up of what happened to that patient.
So kind of a joint response, getting both of those providers to see the other end of it. Would
Yes.
you agree to that?
Yes.
That's really good. So how this training benefits the community. Ozzy, have we seen better patient outcomes and faster and safer care from implementing ALS in-service training?
So the answer to that would be yes, right? One of the things that we do is we do a lot of research and we survey our members to see what kind of training they need or what kind of training they want. But we also collaborate with our CQI, our Continuous Quality Improvement Division, to make sure that we're following the trends of things that might be a need for the members, not just their wants. When we do that, we try to make sure that we cater all of the training to what needs to be done for the department. And to be honest, it's not just for our members, but also for the citizens who expect us to provide the highest level of care possible.
That's great. So, does San Francisco, when we talk about benefiting the community and kind of helping and some of the benefits from that, does San Francisco Fire train on interagency coordination for mass casualty events, large-scale events, or very unique events that may happen in the city?
Yes, they do, and that's something that we is always on our mind because of how big of a city we are, right? We're always going to have earthquakes here. We're always going to have big events like Pride, like 4th of July. These are all things that we always make incident action plans prepare for. But unless we get hands-on and get real active training, a lot of the paperwork and stuff isn't really going to translate to the crews. So what we try to provide is active attacker training, which we coordinate with PD, with our TEMS paramedics. Captain Tadeo does an amazing job making sure they're all trained up and that we're all ready in case that event happens. We hope that never happens in our city, but if it does, we want to make sure that our members have everything that they need to go in and do what they need to do.
Always good hearing we're always prepared. So, Drew, sometimes we have obstacles to training, how to overcome them. That can come in the form of time, staffing shortages, motivation, and budgetary. How has your unit, EMS In-Service Training, been able to address some of those issues and obstacles?
Yeah, Sam. Obstacles are something that we run into every single day. One of the biggest obstacles right now is obviously budget constraints. And the way we've kind of overcome the budget constraints is we repurpose a whole lot of our equipment. So we take equipment that has been used at division training that, has kind of gone through its lifespan, is considered quote unquote broken. We take that equipment and we repurpose it. So for an example, we take airway mannequins that, are broken and, aren't really, the lungs don't inflate correctly, or, there could be holes and stuff like that. One of the individuals that we work with, Paramedic Rivers, he is great. He's a magician at repurposing stuff. Recently, we took an airway mannequin from the division of training, and Paramedic Rivers literally took a fish tank, a pump, and some tubing, and a box that you can get at any local hardware store, and created a wet airway mannequin where we fill the fish tank full of water, and through the pump it goes up into the mannequin, into the airway. And what we did was we created a team dynamic where the EMT or the secondary medic would be suctioning and the primary medic would be intubating, and we were teaching the salad technique with our members. Another obstacle that we run into is scheduling. There are a variety of schedules within the department, whether you are on suppression, whether you're on EMS, or whether you're on CP. And the way we overcome that is the members from community paramedicine or CP and EMS, they will self-schedule their time to come into in-service training, or that we will meet them out into the field while they're on duty. We'll meet them at San Francisco General, we'll meet them at St. Francis, we'll meet them at UC. For the suppression members, we usually detail them through headquarters to come into in-service training. Makes it a little bit easier, but the difficult thing about that is schedules always change, and it's one of those things that we have to be on top of every single day. Thirdly, an issue is training topics. Yes, we do survey our members on, hey, what do you guys want to be trained on? What do you feel is significant that you need to be on top of or be proficient at? But also, too, we collaborate a lot with CQI, the Continuous Quality Improvement Office, and to see trends. And so if CQI picks up on, hey, we're mildly deficient in one aspect of our job, that's what we focus our training on to kind of boost those numbers and bring those numbers back up.
That's a lot. That's a really good way to deal with some of those issues. Ozzy, we know there's different types of learners, whether they're adult learners, young learners, anything like that. What are some of the ways you overcome those obstacles in instruction and delivery?
That's actually a great point. We have a young workforce that's coming in, right? That's kind of the social media generation. They are very used to 5-minute videos to teach them how to do something. So we kind of take all of those things into consideration when we're creating these modules. So we try to make sure that the modules have a BLS component for our EMTs, an ALS component, a teamwork component, so that we can get suppression involved. And then one thing that we try to make sure is that we always have some sort of training that will fit, whatever member is there at the time. So normally in our training van, which we procured through one of our chiefs, we have modded that vehicle, polished it up, put a bunch of training equipment in it. That way, when we go somewhere, if someone has already done that drill or if they're good at something, we have other options for them to train on, right? Also, we try to make sure that our drills are about half an hour to an hour in length to make sure that people stay motivated the entire time. And then, we try to make it an environment where people can make mistakes and learn from them. I think that's a big barrier when we're talking about training with peers, is people don't want to look like they're not good at their job. But if you're not practicing, you're never going to get better. And I think the pressure of having to perform in front of your peers is big, but if you can create an environment where it's not you're not admonished for making mistakes, and you're rewarded for making mistakes on the training ground, so you don't make them out in the field. I think that is our big buy-in with our membership.
That's great. So, as far as this division, it seems like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of need, and it's not going anywhere. What would you say the buy-in is from the EMS command staff, and the department in general?
Assistant Deputy Chief of EMS, Anthony Malloy, since he has taken over the role, has been a huge asset for us. He's supported us at every avenue. He helped us get the vehicle, and he has supported all of us working out in the field and teaching our members. Also, big shout out to Jennifer Treff, our section training chief. She, since the beginnings, when Drew and I first started at DOT, has fostered a mentorship and a level of respect where she allows us to do our job. And that has allowed us to do a lot of good things with our mobile training.
Drew, so some of the outreach your unit does, do you have open house, demo days, anything like that, office hours, anything to also get that buy-in from field providers?
Yeah, Sam. So we tell all the providers, whether you're an EMT, whether you're a firefighter, whether you're a medic, whether you are an EMT who's looking to bump up into a paramedic position, we tell everybody that the classroom on the 4th floor at Station 49 is open 24/7, 365 days a year. And the only thing we ask of them is if you want instruction by a proctor or one of us rescue captains or EMS lieutenant, shoot us an email really quick, just to say, hey, this is what time I want to come up to train. I would like to train with you guys, just so we can make time in our schedules. But that classroom is open for anybody. We have a bunch of equipment out there. We have a bunch of presentations out there that they can self-motivate and go train whenever they want. We also meet the members like, hey, I'm having difficulty, with scheduling and stuff like that. Do you mind coming? Can we meet up somewhere? That's why we have the mobile training unit. We can meet the crews at their level. There's somebody in the office 5 days a week between 6 a.m. and 4 p.m. So we're always on. We're always working.
Love to hear it. So, Ozzy, any last statements on some of the value of EMS in-service training in the community? Is it we go along with just doing the bare minimum, or do we kind of need to go above and beyond when it comes to keeping our skills fresh?
So one of the things one of my mentors told me a while ago was, when you get into this job, you no longer have the luxury to be bad at your job, right? And that's something that in my core always drives me to do what I do. It's one of the things that kind of lights the fire in me to be a good mentor to the newer medics that are coming in, right? We had good mentors coming in. I believe it's my responsibility to train them, just like it was someone else's responsibility to train me. So as long as we keep taking care of the young, I think this department's going to be great.
That's fantastic. I would like to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy day to come and do this podcast. I would also like to thank our command staff, our EMS command staff, and the Board of Supervisors and Fire Commission for giving us this platform and availability to do this. Big shout out to the San Francisco LEMSA for hosting us on this podcast. I'm looking forward to doing another one soon.